man was arrested in the United Kingdom for sharing a meme on the internet. Just 5 days ago, the man you're seeing on screen was arrested for sharing a political meme. Imagine sharing a meme or a political opinion online, on social media, and suddenly the police show up at your house and arrest you. Well, that's exactly what happened to this man.
Basically, Section 19 refers to spreading what we say like racial hatred. So you've posted something online that we believe is spreading racial hatred.
Twitter, Facebook,
I can't explain too much. It's just to give you the context beforehand.
It'll be put to you in an interview.
Because I appreciate you've never been arrested before, have you?
Yeah, once or twice.
Once or twice. Apologies.
Frequent flyer.
Apologies, I didn't think you were. Basically, how it works now is then, obviously, if you've got stuff you'd like to gather, obviously I'm more than willing to talk through what you're able to take with you.
What, you're taking me away now?
Yes, so you're under arrest, so you're going to Harrogate, unfortunately.
You're taking me to Harrogate in the middle of the night over a tweet?
I am, unfortunately.
Is this what you signed up the police to do?
This is my role. I'm trying to be reasonable with you here.
So
if there's stuff you'd like to gather, I'm more than willing to allow you to gather some sort of stuff like medication, if you've got any numbers you need.
You do understand that I'm going to make a maximum fuss about this free speech union.
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys just doing your jobs, obviously, but your head bosses have just opened up a world of shit.
Trust me, if I didn't have to be here, I wouldn't have been. But I'm happy to give you...
I'm quite certain you two have got like 50 better things to do.
That's right, this guy went straight to jail in the middle of the night just for a tweet. But he hasn't been the only one. It turns out that in the United Kingdom, there are an average of 12,000 arrests per year for online posts. That's the United Kingdom, 12,000 arrests a year for what you post on the internet. For example, in 2024, this man was arrested for 12 weeks for 3 memes he shared online. Yes, for 3 memes. Look, British man jailed for 12 weeks just for sharing memes. Has Britain lost its commitment to free speech? This 51-year-old man has been sentenced to 12 weeks in jail for posting 3 memes about immigrants. Just imagine 12 weeks in jail. When citizens are punished for expressing their views, it signals a disturbing shift away from the fundamental right to criticize government policies. So this already happened in the year 2024. Back then, it was something surprising, something that shocked the public. The problem is that now many people are already being jailed in the UK for memes. Guys, this is something unthinkable right now in the vast majority of countries. It's probably unimaginable in your country too. We all agree on that, right? Just imagine posting a meme about your country's president, and suddenly the police show up at your door. Bang, bang, bang. And they take you straight to prison. I remember that just a few years ago, we used to laugh about how China banned Winnie the Pooh because Xi Jinping got offended, since people started making memes comparing him to Winnie the Pooh. We thought it was hilarious. We believed it would never happen to us, but now it's happening in the West too. For posting a meme, you go to jail, you get locked up. And I know this is happening in the United Kingdom, and maybe it feels like a distant news story to us because we think, well, this is happening to the British, but it will never happen to me. I wouldn't be so sure about that. Let's remember that the United Kingdom has come up with this rather peculiar measure. Pay attention, Spotify. Because in the United Kingdom, the app now requires you to verify your age with an ID card. Otherwise, they are legally required to delete the user's account. Let's remember that in the United Kingdom, from now on, apps are asking for your identification, your ID card, supposedly to protect minors, to protect younger people. That's the excuse, that's the justification. But as I've already told you, this is really just a tool with a single goal, to control the population to keep political dissent in check. That's what measures like this are aiming for. And the exact same thing is happening with the issue of memes. Seriously, I find what's happening in England unbelievable. I find it unimaginable, unthinkable. But this has happened because people have allowed it. It's as simple as that. People have allowed it. And let me remind you, governments always take these kinds of measures under the excuse that they're going to protect you, that it's for your own good, that it's for your safety, but in reality, they don't care about any of that. None of that matters to them. It's simply a measure of social control. In fact, in August 2024, the man you're seeing on screen was sentenced to 3 months in jail for sharing memes on the internet. And look, let's be clear. Obviously, there are all kinds of posts online. I'm aware that there are posts that, yes, clearly cross a line, and there are posts that are very, very dangerous. YouTubers constantly get nasty comments almost every day. Any content creator you know will tell you the same thing. It's pretty normal. So we're used to seeing really, really dangerous posts on the internet. So I can understand that not every post you make online is acceptable. But spending 3 months or 18 months in jail for a meme, seriously? Have we all gone crazy? And look, there have been some pretty terrible cases in the United Kingdom. For example, this man here and this other one over here. Both were sent to prison for saying that something terrible should be done to a hotel. In that case, I get it. In fact, I think that's a threat, and obviously, yes, it's more than justified to send people who make those kinds of posts to prison. But making a threat is one thing, and sharing a meme is something completely different. That's why these kinds of laws, these regulations, are so dangerous, because a lot of times they can be pretty ambiguous. For example, these kinds of laws usually say that you can't share posts that are offensive. But look, Xi Jinping gets offended when people compare him to Winnie the Pooh. So this is an offensive post. Saying that Xi Jinping looks like Winnie the Pooh is something that is very offensive to Xi Jinping. Therefore, the ambiguity of these laws allows for things as absurd as a meme to land you directly in prison. And it also allows governments to oppress political dissent. Yeah, imprisoning political dissidents, because obviously a dissident is going to say things that might be offensive to the government. Do you see what I mean? In fact, all it takes is a quick search on YouTube to realize that there are many cases of people being arrested over memes. Look here, check this out from a news outlet saying, "I was arrested for a meme." And they're already talking to you about the free speech crisis in the UK. Imagine getting arrested over a meme. It's just insane. And here's another one. British police arrest a man at his home. Let's check this out. In Great Britain, they arrest an officer for sharing memes on social media. See what I mean? I'm telling you, this is the United Kingdom. I wouldn't last even a week in that country. Of course, that's understandable. Now, the Hampshire police would realize how ridiculous this is. It's just completely ridiculous. There's no justification for arresting someone over a meme, taking them to jail with the whole police force showing up. Please, I want you to look at how many police officers are here for just one man whose only crime was sharing a meme. 3 police officers for a man who just made a comment on social media. It's just insane. I think it's completely ridiculous. But yeah, this is the United Kingdom. This is happening, this is going on right now. And I'm telling you, these measures and policies being implemented in the UK are going to reach your country very soon. Even if you don't believe it, even if it seems far away, even if today it sounds crazy to you, this is going to become normal very soon. And really, please, I want you to grasp the scale of this. Governments are going through a crisis in the West. And the thing is, people don't believe them anymore because before they used traditional media as propaganda arms. What's the problem? That nobody believes the traditional media anymore, the ones we've always had. TV channels like CNN or the BBC are facing an unprecedented reputational crisis. They no longer have any credibility, so governments can no longer control the narrative. They've completely lost control over the political and ideological discourse, and they don't know what to do. And they're very afraid of what gets shared on the internet. They're in a total panic. That's why they resort to these kinds of measures to regain control of the narrative and keep dissent in check. It's that simple, that's what they're really after. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd really love to know what you think and what your opinions are. And let me ask you a question. Do you think you could be arrested for sharing a meme if you lived in the UK? Let me know in the comments section. See you next time.